All right, this is to you. You understand bullying because you've been getting bullied by the opposition for the last 2 years since you got into office. Uh, I'm not exactly partial to the facade because the facade is questionable, but a lot of things you say are good. But as far as being bullied, and it's called clinical bullying, is what we need to address in this country. We were prone to address it prior to 9/11, and then 9/11 happened and changed the conversation. We need to have the conversation about clinical bullying. That is a group, that is, that the government employees on all levels have a natural need for funding and appropriations on need-based funding. That means they have to have a caseload in order to generate needs and base. Anyhow, they know how to neglect certain members of the community and foster a need for reading help. And then on other ends of the community, they appropriate a minimum wage that leaves a deficit on a full-time employee to the extent where the wages just stay so low that everybody has uh, EBTs and all that stuff, right? I'm probably eligible, but I'm not applying. But it's a gaming system and it's clinical bullying the way that they neglect certain aspects of their duties, such as education, for one, is the worst that I've ever seen. To neglect instruction, send material home. And I know the premise of it, but I don't know how what they don't instruct the kid. It's all new material that he's bringing out of that backpack to me and him. Not reviews, not practice for him at home, but looks like he's breaking open a brand new present he ain't never seen before in his life because he doesn't know how to pronounce a lot of words if he hadn't seen them, and etc. Right? I have to stay on them constantly. Even tonight, I went to the school board meeting just to stay on them because they will neglect to create need-based program, grant need-based. All right, that's what they're doing. They're gaming the system to get more money and more preparation. They were talking, and then they're basing their scientific thesis on voluntary subject participation and response. Well, they're investigating. They're not focused on their goal, which their goal is not to see how to predict somebody. They got to stop it. I'm sure it's out of control beyond what I think because we're talking about counselors, mental health workers, and on the radio all the time you're hearing about this foster care parent needed. Foster care parent. Well, if you'd stop bullying people and taking their children whenever you think their housing might be a little bit under par in the middle of August, it's warm. Give them a couple months. It only takes a day to fortify a house or a cabin or a tent for a winter. It really does. It's not that hard. Let people live, experience that. They would sacrifice for them young. They would feed them young. Guarantee it. Not you bully them right off the get go. Anyhow, I'm upset with a lot of the stuff they do, and they do bully. And it's bully me, then it's to them, then it's to them, and it has caseload to them. It's not. There's no details to any of these transactions. There's no questions of the bully. There's no repercussions on these counties. Mr. Trump, we got towns and we got counties in these states that have no checks. The county can solely keep a social service action between the school, the social services in the county, and the judiciary in the county. All three of them things in one county, and they keep man. There's still this poor kid. I know he's still in foster care. He got moved from his mom, and then he went to somebody, and then he got abused, and then he went to another one, and got abused, and now he's at another one, and the mom is there. You know, just went through puberty, basically, is what she did, because she's 23 or something, and or 18 and 21 or somewhere in there. You know, so anyhow, anything's better than the state putting them in harm's way every time. I don't know. There's some things that she can't allow, but most of them, almost 80% of them, is just pure T undermining of their ability to live. I mean, it cost me so much money what action happened to me last year. My kid's not scared of me. They said, your son said he was deadly scared of you all the time. I'm like, well, how long did you talk to him? And they said 4 months before they abducted him from school. I said, well, I see what happened. That counselor at that school seduced my son for 4 months until she got the appropriate reaction. And then she brought in one of her buddies, her playmate, and she wrote up a false petition. And the one that didn't have whatever, they're not worth a shit. And they'll give plea bargains to the worst actors in the community and then hire them at social services or hire them as an informant or just give them special privileges as an informant. I don't know how exactly it works, but I know one thing. If they if the county controlled you, I mean everything. I got in a car wreck it's just coming together on me. I used to get harassed constantly. I get pulled over all the time, just constantly. Boom, 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 boom. Like until I was 26, I got pulled over 3 times a week. Sometimes I get pulled over 2, 3 times a day. They can burn my license so much, you know. Small town. You go through it. Yeah, I mean, it's just a small town. Anyhow, I'm talking about this bullying for Trump, but I'm not staying on the point because I don't get no reciprocal conversation like I need it. I bet you 10 to 1 this don't even broadcast. Well, it might broadcast, but I don't think anybody's watching it. No. Nobody. Ain't nobody. So, Mr. Trump, the conversation is I forgot. The conversation is clinical bullying from the clinical professional. They keep clinically writing up their statistics skewed with a certain percentage of this participant, a certain percentage of that participant, and answers to questions that are leading and entertaining to heinous thoughts and malicious thoughts. Don't ask little Sandy if she ever thinks of this. Hey, little Sandy, do you think of a big old every time you drink? What kind of question is that? Right? Or have you ever cut on yourself, Miss Sandy? Do you feel okay today, Miss Sandy? Oh, you feel bad today? Oh, come home with me. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. You sit there, I need to talk to this fella. Oh, she said she don't feel good. Oh, what do you mean? Did she say she's depressed? Oh, she said she felt terrible. See how that just changed from reality to bullshit? Clinical harassment, clinical social work, clinical science. All these clinical people are right there in with the need based, grant based people wanting to generate money. Instead of being explorers and awesome innovators and soaring forward through the endless possibilities of the future, we're a bunch of people, they are a bunch of people that would rather needle each other out. I think I'd like to touch base, see if my joints feel better. Over and out.